I know it's a little dark in here, but I have something exciting to show you guys right down here at the bottom of this slide. It's the new Mini Cooper. Check it out, all electric. I've been talking about it for weeks in videos, and now I'm here to see it in person. My name is Nick, welcome to the mini vlog. I'm gonna give you a first look at the outside of this electric Mini Cooper, the inside of this electric Mini Cooper, and I'm gonna share with you my thoughts and perspective as a Mini owner myself. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So here is a look at the outside of the car. We got the new front. And it's pretty flush. There's not much change in elevation on the front. Pretty smooth, which is aerodynamics. It's really gonna help that battery. And we also have that new hood. It's no longer the clamshell hood. It's now a traditional hood, or bonnet as you would call it. And as you can see, this is an S model and there is no hood scoop. The previous generations had hood scoops, but they weren't even functional hood scoops. So they went ahead and got rid of those hood scoops. And then we also have the new lights, these new headlights. There are 3 modes you can turn them on. And they will light up either just the exterior circle, just the interior lines, or both, as you see in this mode right here. And that's also tied to the taillights, which we'll get to in a minute. They also have 3 modes. So you don't really get to choose between a whole lot of modes, but you do have three modes that you can choose to put your headlights and taillights into. Taking a look at the side, really nice front end still. The sides, as you can see, they look quite different. There is no more side scuttle and side indicators or plastic trim around the wheels. It's all sheet metal, which will make it easier for detailing, which will be nice. And they move those side indicators over onto the mirrors here. You can see them on the mirrors along with a new addition, some cameras. And there are a lot of cameras on this car. There's one on the mirror, one on the front that we just saw, and there are a couple up there in the front windshield. And speaking of that front windshield, let's look at that angle. That is quite a bit different than previous generations. It's a lot more raked, more sloped back. Obviously another aerodynamic change. Let's just stay on the topic of aerodynamics. As you can see, this hood is smooth. It's really smooth. It's got a nice crease on each side, but it's really smooth. And you might be wondering, well, where are the windshield washer fluid jets? And they are actually tucked down here underneath the bonnet. I don't know if you could see it right there. There are 3 of them along the hood there. Not sure why these wipers don't tuck down underneath here for a little even more aerodynamics, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and go around to the side. Big change are the door handles. As you can see, they are flush now, but they're big, they're wide, so there's no concern about getting them correctly. But my main concern would be to scrape the paint, a lot of paint scraping, but that's what Clear Bra is for. We'll put some paint protection film underneath there to keep that safe. We also have the new beltline trim. As you can see, it's all black. That's the way it really should be. There's really no chrome left on this car besides the grille right here. And I think that looks really nice the way it is. You know, black headlight trim, a much smoother, simpler headlight area in general. Just a little chrome on this grille, and then just a little bit of black beltline trim, because yeah, it doesn't continue around all the way on the front anymore, just on the sides. And that's it, not even to the back. Stops there. Here's that crease down at the bottom. It's quite pronounced, and yeah, quite an indent. Pops back out, pops back in. Gives it some, I don't know, shapes, angles. And we got another one up here on the top. Let's call it the rear shoulders of the car. You can see a little bit of it there in the brake light. One question I have that was brought to my attention by Ollie is that the US needs to have side markers, and I'm not sure if these ones on the back are visible enough from the side to be considered a side marker. I guess they are. I hope they are, because that means we can have this one continuous, smooth wheel arch without an interruption like we kind of have now. I guess we'll have to wait and see when they hit the US. So here is a full shot of the back. Quite a bit different, as you can see from the 3rd gen. We have the new taillights, and again, we have those 3 modes that we can set those in. Taking a look at the new spoiler, very smooth. Not much going on to it, but also the reverse light is moved down to here. No longer in those LED matrix taillights. I don't think there's any room for them, so that is moved down here. Can we see underneath? There is the floor of the car, very smooth all the way back. Obviously it's housing the battery underneath it. So there's not much to see, not much for air to become turbulent under. Got the 3rd light integrated right into that rear wing. It's hard to even capture on video, but it is there, really smooth and seamless built into that. We have the new rear antenna. It's no longer a longer antenna and no longer need to change it to a sport stubby. It's just a smooth kind of whale fin antenna. And in front of that is the sunroof, but that doesn't open, so let's call it more of a moonroof. So yeah, this is the back end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on that. Poke our head in the interior for a little bit. It is a really quality looking interior. Oh, real quick, if you want to check out high-res photos of both of these cars, the Cooper and the Countryman back there, go check them out. I have the high-res photos placed on my website, theminivlog.com. Pretty easy to remember. Now, back to the video. We've got that large OLED display with projectors on the side. That's how the image is being displayed on the dash. It's actually projectors. And this material feels really nice. I know there's a lot of concerns about it, but I can assure you that it feels really nice. I do wonder why this strap isn't elastic, have some elasticity to it, so you can tuck things underneath it, but it seems to be glued or sewn down onto the dash itself. Now we also have those toggles that are down below, and that's where you see where you can put the car in drive, reverse, neutral, etc. There's a parking brake. There is a center key that you kind of turn to power on the car. Then we have our experiences toggle. And on the far right, we have a dedicated volume button for the radio and entertainment system. In the center, we see a large phone charger, which is wireless charging, which is nice to see that. 2 cup holders now stacked one in front of the other instead of side by side. And then, which essentially is the kind of rail system of the old R60 Countrymans. And in that, we have a little storage compartment in this example. See that the door handles are moved a little bit farther down. The door pulls are kind of built into the door themselves. The door handle released down a little bit lower. But looking at that steering wheel, I think that's actually really a 2-spoke steering wheel, because that 3rd spoke is really just a knit strap. Kind of matches the strap over on the passenger dash a little bit. Let's talk about some of the specs of this car. It is codenamed J01, and previous generations, like the 3rd generation, is codenamed F56. So this is J01, full electric version. It comes in 2 sizes. The base model with a 40 kilowatt hour battery, which has a range of about 151 miles. Has 184 horsepower. Now the larger battery variant is 54 kilowatt hours, which gives you a range of about 200 miles, which is pretty cool. That's a big bump. And it's got about 218 horsepower. So yeah, that's gonna be this video. I've jumped around all day to a couple of different locations where they've had these minis. So as you can see, I've changed my outfit a few times as well. But I've got to see the car a decent amount of times, and I can confidently say it is really, truly a mini. It feels mini. So hold your reservations until you actually get to see it in person. I think overall it is really great. Maybe there's one thing it could change, but maybe we'll see that changed in the future. But otherwise, this car overall is really stupendous. Stick around, because next week we're gonna go check out the Countryman, so subscribe so you don't miss that. But for now, let me know down in the comments below what you think about this car. What are your thoughts about it? Let's have a discussion down there. And yeah, for now, from Munich, as always, don't forget to wave when you see other minis out there, especially these new ones. See you later.